He is the most talented guy I ever met in this country. He is an actor, a photographer, a dancer, and a fashion designer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Abdul MUJYAMBERE.
Hello guys, I am Abdul MUJYAMBERE and I'm a multidisciplinary artist based here in Kigali.
Welcome to the show, Abdul.
Thank you so much, it's a pleasure.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, bro.
You're so smart.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
This is one of your collection?
Yeah, so this is Inwari. It's a collection I made last year, and I'm still working on it. You can visit me anytime. I have my studio in Nyamirambo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why does name Inwari?
So Inwari is about my life, my philosophy, my spirituality. So for the last 5 years, I've been trying to be inspired by other Africans heroes, Rwandan heroes, African heroes, like black heroes, like Nelson Mandela, like Kwame Nkrumah, like black American writers. So a lot of people. Also like my president, you know.
Sure.
Yeah. So there are a lot of heroes. So I'm trying to get inspired and then translate that inspiration into fashion design, also into other art forms that I do.
That's great.
Yeah.
It comes in my work, a project I'm working on right now, a book called Black Freedom Fighters, where I talk about all of those freedom fighters.
Yes.
The Nelson Mandela, the Julius Nyerere, the Kwame Nkrumah, the Haile Selassie, and so on.
Yes. Sir.
So, is it your first collection as a fashion designer?
Yeah, so it's my first official collection. But before that, like few months ago, I did another one called Kigali Pink Project, which is a project I did for a grant I got from Africalia, Belgium. So I had to make a project which was a dance theater project, but also had other art aspects like photography and fashion. So with the fashion part of it, I made a project called Kigali Pink Project, which is only pink. So everything is pink. So I imagined a world that is pink.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Pink is one of my favorite colors. You know.
Thank you. Same here.
Yeah. So, how did you think about becoming a fashion designer or designing your collection?
I come from a dance background. That is my main art form, and I'm a choreographer. So in the process of choreography making, we do everything. We do everything from the movement designing to costume designing, sound designing, light designing, space designing, time designing, everything. We design everything. So I've been designing a lot of costumes for my shows since 2010. And I had an idea, like, if I can design costumes for my shows, why not design costumes for the public and initiate them for my contemporary art world. So that's how it all started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is the collection on the market already?
Yes. I've been selling a lot of collection now, a lot of samples for my clients, different clients. But also I have a physical store, which is also my studio in Nyamirambo, where you can find me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to your initial career or initial talents, which is dance. Yeah.
All right.
How did you find yourself in dance?
I don't know how to start this, but I started very late. I was something like 22. I don't remember well, but 22. As a dancer, you are so old to start the dance because many dancers start
when they are young teenagers.
Yes, when they are teenagers.
Yeah.
When I was teenagers, I tried, but I couldn't. I was in secondary school, in my first years of secondary school in Byumba. There was a dance club. I tried to go there and I tell them, guys, can you put me in your dance? They were doing a lot of hip hop, doing choreography on NSYNC. If you remember that group.
I remember the group.
Or
yes.
Billy Crawford,
Yeah.
Britney Spears.
Yeah, the Backstreet Boys.
Those were like a big hit at the time. Yes, Backstreet Boys, Westlife.
Westlife.
So I was doing they were doing a lot of choreography. That I tried to ask them to put me in their group, and they say no. I was maybe young or I was not that fashionable guy, and I say like, okay, it's okay.
That time you were in
I was
S1.
Yes, I was like S1, S2.
S2, yeah.
And then I finished my whole secondary school without really doing any art form particular, except drawing. I was doing a lot of drawings.
You also drew?
Yeah. I was doing a lot of those from primary school. I was doing those. So when I got at the university, National University of Rwanda, Butare, that's where I was introduced to dance for my first time. And from that time,
University of Rwanda
at Huye.
Yeah.
I didn't really know like what was going on. So there is this guy who say, Abdul, come I take you to something you may like, because your father also was doing something similar to that. So he showed me contemporary dance. I was looking at it and saying, okay, I think I can do this. And then I watched for the first day, second day I joined, and then from that time I become like, I learned so quick and I started traveling, and a lot of things happened after that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And you started by which dance, which type or kind of dance?
Oh, so it's Afro-contemporary dance. So the choreographer from the school was a student from École des Sables, which is one of the African renowned school for dance. So he was also initiating a lot of dance technique from École des Sables, but also trying to add his touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say you traveled a lot from that dance thing.
Yeah.
Where did you go? How did you go there? And what experience did you learn from those travelings?
So yeah, my first travel, I always say that it's crazy. So I went from Huye to Kigali. That was my first time to travel, like professional travel.
Like tour?
Yes, tour as a dancer. So we were invited by Isho Art that was in 2010. The first year I was starting the dance. So we were traveling from my school to come here, and then they pay for everything, like accommodation, traveling costs, everything. And then we did a festival here, and we stayed here for a couple of days. But then after that, we went to Burundi. We performed in MUJYAMBERE. Also, we stayed there for like 3 days. Then from there, there was another company I joined by Wesley Ruzibiza, Amizero, contemporary dance. So we also went on a tour the following year. That was in 2011. So we went to the regional festivals. So from Kampala to Tanzania, Kenya, and here in Rwanda. So we did basically like East African tour. Yeah, that was my first time I get in contact with other artists, and it really opened my mind to see what's going on outside. Because when you are here in Rwanda, you think the world is limited to Rwanda or Kigali. Yeah. But when you go out of Rwanda, you see there is more. There are a lot, and you can learn just by traveling, by meeting other people, by seeing what they are doing, by watching the process they go into in their art crafts. So there are a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for how long did you dance before you traveled?
You know, I did not really take a long time to learn because I was good. even though I was starting, but I was good. Our company had some more like 50 to 80 students, and when I was starting, the first selection they did, I was in the first seven guy from 70, let's say. So it was a talent. I didn't know like I had that, but they just saw it. So I didn't take a long time to learn. By the time I started in the dance company, I started with the tours and performances and everything else.
So can we say that you became a dancer by accident?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because when I was going to Butare, it was not my intention to become a dancer. No, I wanted to be a traditional dancer, but I did not want to become a contemporary dancer. So I didn't know what that thing exists before that. So yeah, it's by accident.
Today, what does dance mean for you?
It's freedom. It's freedom. It's knowledge. It's love. It's passion. It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you say
it's also a fight.
a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Against
of
what?
things. Against a lot of things. It's a fight against ignorance, against hatred, against a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, against stress, against
Against
sorrow,
racism,
against racism, yeah.
tribalism,
Yeah.
ethnicism,
Yeah.
a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said that your father was doing something similar to dance.
Yeah, sure.
So your father, and what did your father do as a...
So my father was a martial artist. He was doing a lot of karate, and because contemporary dance, it's somehow similar to martial art.
Yeah.
So the guy confused it with martial arts,
Yeah.
and then said, "This is something that looks similar to what your father was doing."
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Now, later on, you became an actor as well.
Yeah.
Now, from dance to actor, how was the transition? How did you find the acting thing from the
All right.
dance?
So that's really interesting because still I was at National University of Rwanda, and there is this guy. No, actually, Issue Art Company. So they had a casting posts on Facebook or somewhere on social media, saying that there was a group from Canada and US coming to Kigali producing Romeo and Juliet, like you were sure you
Like my
did,
show,
you know,
yeah.
Romeo and Juliet. And I was there, 2012, sitting in my room at the school, at university, and I saw, this is theater. I say, why can't I try this as well? Because I believe when you are a dancer, you can match into other various art forms. So I said I'm gonna give it a try. I was with my friend called Mohammadi. We're still friends, best friend. So with him, he also said, because he was also a dancer in my company. So we said, let's go and do this casting. So we come to Kigali. We travel from Huye to Kigali. We did a casting. A lot of famous people. There are really a lot of like singers, actors, like comedians. Some were like these comedy night. You know comedy night?
Of Athara.
Yeah, like Hervé, those Michaels. Yeah,
Babu.
yes. Some of those were in the casting, and they were famous. We were not famous at the time. Nobody knows about us.
Yeah.
And when we saw them and other singers, when we saw them, we were like, damn, this is gonna be a lot of competition. We were about from 300 to 500 people, if I remember well. So it was a lot of people.
300 to 500.
Yeah, doing casting.
That's a lot of...
And then they had to select only 30, around 30. So we did casting for about 3 days. You know, one
You
day.
remained in Kigali.
No, I was sometimes traveling back to my school, and then
And come the next day.
no, maybe after 1 week, we did all 3 days. They say, okay, now you are selected into the second phase. Now you can come back. Then we go back.
All right.
Then you can
So you have been selected from
yeah.
step to another.
Yes.
Mhm.
They were giving us like small scenes so that we can see they can see our performances, fighting scenes, romantic scenes, stuff like that.
Yes.
And then basically I was selected, and I got one of the main roles into from that Romeo and Juliet. And the year after, no, I think we did that.
And you got the role you played in Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
And you played which role?
I played Makusho.
Makusho.
Yes, I
It's a
played.
very tough.
Yeah. It was very tough
Very
guy.
tough character.
Yeah. So
It's big.
so it's a very complex role,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I
The
did.
character, even the dialogue.
Yes.
Even the actions.
Yes.
I like the character of Makusho.
Yeah. You cannot really predict what coming out of Makusho.
Yeah.
So I play that. This is the good part. After that, 3 guys were selected to go to America, US, do now an intensive training of theater. So 2014 we went to US. We did a really intensive training of theater. So that's how I got really in contact with theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after Romeo and Juliet, are there any other plays you performed in?
Oh yeah, I did a lot of plays. So in 2015 I joined Mashirika. We did a lot of plays there. We also did a lot of tours to Asia. And then after that, also with the Amizero company, we were doing dance theater. It's a combination of 2. We did also a lot of plays. Also by myself, I made a lot of plays. So I meet different choreographers from outside Rwanda, and we did a lot of plays. So it's a lot of combination of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how many countries have you been gone so far with theater?
With theater or dance theater, it's a lot, from 12 to 15 maybe.
12 to 15.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah. Like from Asia to US to Africa to Europe.
Yeah. And you are a director as well, film director.
Yeah. So I'm a visual art director. I do photography and film, which I don't really separate a lot, because for me they look similar. So yeah, I do those 2.
Those 2.
Yeah.
Yo, tell us about your filmmaking experience.
Okay, I think my film experience come from photography, because the way I started photography was through photo manipulation, Photoshop. A lot of kids know that. And back 2010, it was something that was on trend. A lot of people were cutting themselves from their home background, putting them in Las Vegas, in Miami, wherever, on planes, in fancy cars. So I was doing the same thing. And then from there, in 2014, I started now doing photography using camera, taking pictures of street scenes, mostly street scenes. And then from there, I go into video, because they are both images. They are dealing with images. So yeah.
Is there any movie, short or feature that you've already produced or directed?
Most of my movies are short films.
Yes.
I normally don't go beyond 5 minutes, but even though it's 3 minutes, it can take me 3 months.
Yes.
So it's not about the time, it's more about the content.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I don't really know the numbers of my short films because I did a lot.
Yeah.
I even there are some I didn't put on YouTube's, but also there are a lot that on my YouTube. By the way, it's Abdul MUJYAMBERE YouTube, so you can go on my channel and check my films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever got any award for your film or for your work, any discipline?
So I got a lot of grants, which I take as awards as well.
It's a prize,
Yeah. So I got
so
a lot of grants, and also I got one of my movies called Urumuri, which means light,
yes.
was selected to New York African Film Festival. That was in 2018, I guess,
Yeah, that's great.
with other famous Rwandan movie makers like Kabera and others.
Yes.
So we were selected to participate in the New York Film Festival.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now let's talk about art, because you rotated around art.
Yes.
Let's talk about art and making a living.
Oh.
Because at the end of the day,
Yes.
we have to live, we have to pay bills, we have to,
Mm-hmm.
to grow up financially and economically and everything. you
Yeah.
know. And in that terms, money is very important. Or just, yeah, making some living, earning some living. How is it for you? Are you living by your art?
That's really tough. It's hard to live by just making your art, because there are a lot of issues in arts in terms to making arts and getting paid by the same artworks you're doing. Why? Because first of all, the type of arts we are making here in Rwanda is not famous. Also, the audience is not really, they're not in good position to consume art. Why? First of all, because of a lot of things. Life expense, life cost is tough here in Kigali, So before you buy a picture of 100,000 francs, you first of all need to feed your family, to send your kids at school, doing that. So it's not everyone who have that privilege to really consume and enjoy art. So art in Africa, it's not only in Africa but worldwide. Art is it's something luxury. It's like a luxury. So, and here in Africa, most of the people, we don't have that luxury to consume art. That's why it's tough for artists to make livings, because people cannot afford to buy artworks. So now you understand how it's a struggle.
Yeah.
And then some of my incomes come from my international tours. Mostly, yeah, from international tours. But also others now are coming from my fashion design. Little gigs I do for people, like portrait photography, or maybe assisting them in directing, or directing them their videos, their artworks, their theater, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But still, it's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
So one can say or can think and say, why be an artist if I have to struggle to make a living?
Yeah. Well, art is a passion. Art is a calling. It's a call. The same way one become a sport, an athlete, the same way one become a politician, the same way one become a religious, the same way one become so and so and so on, the same way one becomes an artist. So when you are an artist, you don't have much choices, because you're already thinking about art every time. So that's the only thing you can do, really, you know. So yeah, it's not like you had to force yourself to do that, or you had to, you know, it's something you do because you just can do it. Yeah.
What happened for you? You are at school and University of Butare, of Rwanda, and what about studies?
Yeah, so I finished in 2013. Sounds like a long time ago now. And I did my major in translation and interpreting. And but after I finished, I decided that I was not going to do that as a career. First of all, because it was not doing well on the market, from my experience, what I saw. And second, because it was not a fire, you know, in my world, it was not a fire.
Yeah.
It was something that is there, but it was not like, you know. So I needed that fire thing in my life. So I found it was art. So I decided to drop that and to follow art as a career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's makes me think about those people, and especially right now I want to talk about young people, young children that are still studying.
Yeah.
We had that problem of studying, take a long, many years to finish either, I don't know, degree, bachelor degree or masters or whatever, PhD.
Yeah.
Find out that we are not made for that and we leave it. And I wonder, isn't it a waste of time? Shouldn't we really know before or live our life that we want, we love? And there I ask myself, why can't we choose what we love before we waste that time?
Yeah, so that's an interesting point. That's an interesting point, and it's all it's all come from the basic education you get when you're still very young. I think the ideal education would be like following a kid from when he's 5 years old to 12 maybe somewhere, and see what is really his passion. If he's into arts, if he's into sciences, if he's into that, and then try to accompany him in his education so that his choice uh, is prepared from the early years, you know, because everyone knows what he can do from the early age. For instance, me, I knew I was good at drawing, you know. So drawing was like my window of arts. But from 5, 6, 7, I knew I was good. When I started in primary school, everyone knew I was good, you know. I was like drawing for the whole school, for the whole class of mine, and for the neighboring classes, you know. So, for instance, if in our primary school they had a lot of sensibility of following kids and see what they are really into, you know, if they want to become artists, if they want to become fashion designers, let's say, if they want to become scientists. So that was a good spot to now follow them, and following that path they become genius in any field they are in, because when you do something you are really passionate of, nothing can stop you, you know. If you want to become a scientist from early age, you will invent a lot of shit, a lot of things, sorry, you know. If you want to become an artist, you will be a genius, because with a passion nothing can stop you. But here comes a conflict. When you are doing something you are not passionate, you're not passionate of, now you don't deliver your ability, you don't maximize what you can give, and then both country and your community and your family, they don't benefit from your maximum capacity.
Yeah.
Which brings me to this point, like, at least if someone asks to get an option from primary school, so you did this national exam. You choose, I want to do languages. At least everyone should get that opportunity to get his first choice, because if you select something and then you go into something different, you won't like it, and when you become like a profession, you won't deliver with your passion, you won't maximize your capacity. So my point is, it's really crucial for everyone to do something that he's passionate. Otherwise, a lot of people are losing. They are wasting their energy, you know. Yeah.
What challenges have you faced in your career?
Oh, well,
All discipline combined.
first of all, it's financial freedom of living as an artist, make your living. Also visibility. Also means to create and space to create, because right now there is a lot of things I can do. Let's say like making theater pieces, you know, let's say that. But it's really tough to produce a theater show. You know that. You are an artist as well. Making a team of actors, it's a lot of costs. You need to pay them. Rehearsal, you need to pay them. You need to pay the rent for your space, costumes, lighting, preparation, everything. It's a lot of money. So how can you do that, all of that, when you don't have money? It's impossible. So it's really one of the big challenges most of artists have, is about how can I produce my art. Also, how do I get visibility? How do I be on TVs? You know, we have TVs and radio shows, but this is not a beef.
Yeah.
Just
Feel free.
this is not a beef.
Express yourself.
But you find
Express
that
yourself. Yeah.
you find that the same artists are going to the same TV and radio channels. Why there are other artists? You know, we don't see theater. We don't see theater directors. We don't see them on TVs. We don't see a lot of fashion designers. You know, we see some few, but not many. We don't see photographers. We don't see photographers. So it's mostly about singers. I have nothing against singers. I love them. I love music. I'm inspired by music. But art is not limited to only music. Art is wide, you know. So yeah. So visibility is one of the things young artists really got as challenges.
Yeah. How would you wish things to be changed so that those challenges cannot be a problem to somebody else?
Well, I think people have to be open, willing to meet a lot of people, willing to experience a lot of art forms, and not just the trending things, because the trends comes and get out all the time. But art remains, you know. So you need to understand. Also, they need a good education when it comes to people who are involved in selections, in programming, in everything. You need to understand that art is wide, but also need to understand that art is not a trend. You know, art is not trend. I'm against trends myself. So you need an education to know, to understand what is art, and then trying to see, discover, meet a lot of people, talking to them, understanding what is their philosophy about life, about everything, so that people who consume your product on TV, on radio, on magazine, on everywhere, they can have a diversity of art.
Are you happy being an artist?
Yes and no.
Wow. Explain. Yeah.
Okay, I start with no.
Yes, no problem.
Then I go with yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not happy because it's a tough journey. You know, it's a tough journey. Your family is expecting you to help them, you know, financially. There are a lot of people who are really expecting your help, you know, from African families, you know that. And then also there are a lot of things you think you can do. You know you can do well if you are not doing art, but because you are not,
that's hard. Son.
Yeah, and then you cannot really afford those. Let's say living a good life, you know, having a good car, having a good house, you know, all of those. But then you know you are very limited because of your choice of art, you know, which I don't think it's stupid, but it's really challenging. Yes, because as an artist I'm free. Look at my dreadlocks. This is freedom.
As me.
This is freedom.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean like this is the best thing to do for everyone.
No.
But as a person, I love it. It gives me pleasure. It gives me freedom. You know, I feel free. The way
It's
I dress.
your identity.
Yes, the way I dress. You know, a lot of people, they want to be free, but they cannot be free because of
the
their
to be free.
Yes, they cannot afford that because it's expensive to be free.
Yeah,
you have to sacrifice a lot of things to be
free. Yeah, freedom is not free.
You know?
No.
So that is one of the good thing I'm very, very like grateful for. But also another thing is to express yourself, sharing your passion with the world, creating for people, creating for yourself as well. When you visit me, please visit me. Everyone who is watching this, visit me.
I will,
you know,
trust me.
You will see my collection of fashion. You will also see my photograph, my movies, my everything. So I have a lot of freedom in creation, you know, and a lot of people appreciate what I do, even though some cannot afford my artworks, buying them or what, because of their life, I understand. But I get a lot of good feedbacks from everywhere, from my family, from my friends, from everyone. Also, I get a lot of respect from everywhere, which is also a good thing, you know, so I'm grateful.
All right.
Yeah.
Are there any rich artists in our country so that those who want to get rich by art hear that?
Yes, we have very successful artists. Let me say that.
Financially?
Yeah. I mean, when you see like our old generation of artists, there are some of them who are really doing good, like those of Epawina Mungo, those of Birasa in their generation.
They are rich.
Yes, they are rich, and we respect them. They are really good artists. We respect them. I'm very sure they did not start their art successful.
And get rich
Successful
overnight.
as they are. It had to take a lot of time. You know,
a lot of work.
They are in 60s, you know, maybe 70s.
They have more than,
I don't know,
30, 40 years of experience.
Yeah, of experience. So I really appreciate the hard work. There are other artists who I really respect, like those Mighty Popo. There is another one who is also traditional. Masamba, yes, Masamba, Kairebga. you know.
And today, young musicians also.
Yes, we have also another generation which is not that old, but also who are doing really well. Yeah. Like Hope Azeda.
Yeah.
Like Kahol Karemera and their generation, like Eli Kabera, Dosi Rugamba. Those are like another generation which is not very old, somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But who are really doing well and representing the country everywhere.
Yeah.
So we also, I have to recognize them and respect them because they are my like big brothers and big sisters.
Yeah.
And then there is our generation still struggling, trying to find their way out.
They did a lot for this country, for this industry of art.
Of course.
Really.
I mean, I always respect every generation because without that generation, there cannot be a younger generation,
yeah.
you know. And also, those same generation as well should also help the young generation to be where they are right now. Because sometimes there is a conflict between the generation, you know. Like the conflict is not really as a conflict, as I say, but it's a space of conversation between young generation and old generation. Sharing, learning, having a talk, you know. Yeah. Sometimes there is a lack of that. Yeah.
Yeah, now give us 5 rules for success according to you.
Oh my
Just
God.
simple words, plain, just concise. Yeah, so that anyone can put those rules in action and
that's tough, but
get successful.
That's tough, but I can try. First of all, know what you are good at.
Okay.
Yeah, for me it's crucial. You have to know what you are really good at.
Okay, number 1.
That
number
thing,
2.
no one else is better than you.
Yeah.
You know. Number 2, you need to be passionate about that thing you are really good at. You know.
Yes.
2.
Yes.
3, knowledge. You know. I mean, I'm trying to put those on, but it can be, the order can change, you know.
No problem.
Yes.
So we just 5 rules.
Yeah, we have knowledge.
Yeah.
That's
knowledge.
3. 4, networking and communication. It's very crucial.
Yeah.
You know. Now 5, commitment and hard work.
Commitment and hard work.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tried my best.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to the end of our show, and we thank so much Brother Abdul MUJYAMBERE for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much,
brother. It's a pleasure. You feel free to invite me once again, and also invite you to my space as well. Yeah, and thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you. Till we meet again. Bye bye.
All right.
Yeah,
man.
Doresi wacu murinda shyikirwa ibigwi byanyu n'umurage wacu menya amateka mwana w'u Rwanda menya amateka mwana w'u Rwanda burya utaganiriye na se ntamenye icyo sekuru yasize avuze